we are, City Market. This is the kind of artsy restaurant area. A lot of galleries here. It's one of my favorite places to hang out. I really want to call out this gallery over here to the left called A.T. Hun. I know the owner, Chuck. So a lot of his paintings, and he has other artists that he sells there too. But over here. Anyway, a lot of his stuff that he does is all based on characters from the movie The Big Lebowski. Yeah, that's the place right there. You can look up his gallery online. I think he's also on Facebook. Just type up A.T. Hun. Shows a lot of work there. But anyway, I'm going to walk across here. You can get trolley tours from down here. I don't know if they're still doing I think they still do the horse-drawn carriage tours as well. I know they used to. Well, I got a Prohibition museum here. I don't know if that was here when I was here or not. I think it was. But anyway,
Sir, come back up.
oh, there's a Prohibition museum. Oh, I got a gift store. That's why. I guess we was over at a gift store. But anyway, so this all used to be way different. Like when I first got here. This park, this area was just, I think it was just basically empty land, and they put in a underground parking area for visitors. I mean, this parking around here is ludicrous, especially during the summertime when you get a lot of people coming in for visits and whatnot. But they have usually a fountain going off here during the summertime, and a lot of kids come out here to play and all that. Yeah, this little area right over here. You got the fountain here in the middle. The water spurts up. That is a good place for kids to come and kind of run around and cool off and stuff during the summertime. But we're gonna go. Keep on walking over here. Now, if you look at some of my old photos from Savannah, this is completely remodeled. This building was old. It was, basically empty there for quite some time, where this oyster bar is. So they've kind of revitalized all that, which is really good. Sorry Charlie's Oyster Bar. So that's been there for some time. It might have been here right before I left. They were probably working on it to open it up. So we're gonna walk over here. About an hour before I gotta. Oops.
Sorry.
It's okay. Before I gotta meet my old high school classmate for lunch here. So we were supposed to be going to the Bonaventure Cemetery, which is a really historic cemetery here in the Savannah area. That didn't quite work out. Here's Paula Dean's restaurant and gift store. I've been to a restaurant. It's not half bad. It's kind of, touristy sort of place. A lot of people come here to eat here. A lot of one-way streets around. That's for sure. So if you're driving around here, you got to be very careful which way you go. The squares, you enter a square, you always turn to the right and go around the square. Kind of like a roundabout, you know. Depending on which country you're from, you know, of course. But anyway, so let's see. So a lot of squares here in Savannah. Almost everything is built on a square format here in the city. So yeah, a lot of kind of nice places, kind of shaded places to sit and rest on a hot day if you want. So let's see. Most all the squares have fountains or some kind of a historic landmark here. I think this one, if I'm not mistaken, is in honor of Tamachichi, I think. Morning. If I remember correctly, but we'll see when we get to the monument. Yeah, I think this is the one for Tamachichi. Oh, I got a working sundial over here. Not that you can, I think this is. Nope, this is Washington Southern Tour. Oh, okay. So this is one of the. They have all these landmarks in those squares. So they have, you know, like important things that had happened here. There is a square, and I think we're walking kind of towards it. I can't remember because there's so many of them. But there's one, it's a Native American named Tamachichi, who was, when settlers arrived here in Savannah, Tamachichi and his people were very friendly to the new arrivals, and they had a great relationship with them. It's one of those things, like many things here that I learned in Savannah, there's a lot of history that is not always you know, we don't always get the full story, you know. So we'll go across the street here. It's this last so the Christ Church. A lot of churches here. A lot of them still open that have been here for a long time. That's the Christ Church. We talked about that. President Washington attended services at when he came here. So yeah, just really a lot of old churches. There is a Catholic church that still has service. Most all of them still offer services. So whatever your denomination is, you can find a place here for sure to worship if that's your inclination to do so. This area, especially a lot of the squares, are very well known for. A lot of people have their weddings out in the squares instead of in the traditional church kind of setting. So let's see. Most of the houses stay. Look at this. The ends of the pipes coming from the roof for the rain. Very ornate, decorative kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, if you own a house here in the historic district, you cannot have too many. You can't change the paint unless it's approved by the Historic Society. So there are plenty of neat places to buy here, but they're very expensive. Sotheby's, which is the auction house, they do a lot of business here as realtors. So we got a courtyard for John Wesley, who is created the Methodist Church. I can't remember which one was the one that had Tomachichi in it. It's been so long since I've been downtown and remember where all the squares are and whatnot. It's But you have the old Lucas Theater, which I walked by the other day when I was heading downtown to have lunch with my old friend from the Army. We'll go towards now there is a park bench area that was used in one of the scenes where in Forrest Gump where he's on the park bench telling his story. That was filmed here in Savannah. The movie Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil was filmed entirely here, I think, in Savannah. There's a restaurant where the cast and crew ate breakfast that I think is still open. You can go there and they got pictures of the cast and crew who came in to eat. So yeah, and that's a true story, something that happened here in Savannah. So we're gonna go. A lot of little restaurants and pastry stores and whatnot. Now around the corner here to the left is the old Leopold's ice cream place. Right there. Very famous. The guy who started that was involved in the film industry. He's got a lot of pictures in there. Really cool place. Very popular. Of course, during the summer. And this theater is used by the Savannah College of Art and Design. Although it doesn't look that. Yeah. Trustees Theater. Usually, I'm sure at some point they'll get back to it, but the film, they have a lot of film, I can't think of the word right now. Anyway, they used to show a lot of historic films and all that. They haven't probably in quite some time, but hopefully they'll get back to it. Fondue restaurant. A lot of places are not open today or opening later for various reasons. Now, there it is. Blick's Art Material. So when I was taking oil painting classes, where I used to go to get a lot of my stuff for the class. Right. Matter of fact, I found my teacher through the store because I thought maybe when I was looking to take an art class when I got back from Afghanistan, I thought maybe they would teach them here, and she had like a little postcard advertisement stuff set up here, and so that's how I found her, Melinda. So yeah, again, if you look on my Flickr page, I think there's a lot of stuff there. I think I posted pictures from when I took the painting class and all that, but if you're into art stuff, Blix is definitely you can order stuff online and they'll ship it to you. They have an online store, but yeah, always a cool place to kind of go wander around in. And this was, I think this was called something else before, and then it closed for quite some time, and now I think it's finally back up and running. Houses here as well. That was one of the big things for quite some time. I think there's, if that will cross the street over here, we'll walk over towards this square since we've got like an hour to kill. Kind of show you some of the different style houses. There's a lot of the houses here, you don't necessarily park in front of your house, so you have like usually a alleyway, driveway. You park in the back, and then you have a house like this here, which is really nice. I think I remember this. This is not one of the usual squares that I would always kind of come to hang out. Yeah, a lot of houses were built around these squares. The squares are not a Sears kit house, windows not upside down. Oh, so that's what they call it, a craftsman houses. They were, back when Sears was a big to do, that's what a lot of people bought their craftsman houses through Sears, and then had all the everything brought here to be constructed. Place. Find a lot of squirrels hanging out around here. Camera shot, that's surprising. Normally you walk up, I mean, they must be just so used to people being around them all the time that they're not bothered by it anymore. Yeah. Kind of quiet. Try to find, we're going to walk all the way towards the area where you can see City Hall basically. See if we can't find that park there where they filmed a lot of the scenes for when Forrest Gump was telling his life story, sort of thing. I smell breakfast somewhere. you do come to Savannah, I highly recommend the horse carriage tour versus the bus tour. The horse carriages will stop for quite some time, allow you to kind of look around, take pictures, all that sort of stuff. The bus, I found the first tour I did on the bus, it was quite difficult, to be honest. I'd get ready to take a picture and the driver would hit the gas suddenly and the vehicle would lurch forward, sort of thing. So we're back kind of over John Wesley's Square it is. Restaurant here, the Old Pink House Restaurant and Tavern. Excuse me. Supposedly one of the haunted spots here in Savannah. Some people have claimed to see a gentleman dressed in like Victorian attire, sort of thing. Usually it's women who see him. Savannah certainly is one of the most haunted areas in the United States, so there's plenty of haunted tours. So if you like that sort of thing, this is your place for sure. I see a lot of these signs now talking about if you enter the building and you get COVID, the building is not liable if you are injured or killed from COVID. So here's one of the buildings that the College of Art and Design saved. We've kind of done a loop around. Rivers and Glen Trading Company, which has a lot of stuff from Orcas for sale there, which is make really good quality outdoor clothing, pretty expensive as well. But a lot of antique stores around here too, so if antiquing is your thing. I don't know if this one's still open. It looks like it might be closed for, there's a thing when they were supposed to reopen. But anyway, I think the square we're looking for is coming right up because we're almost right back at the city market. So you can walk around and just not necessarily get lost, but kind of, but not to the point where you feel very agitated about what's going on or where you're at. So definitely, it's a nice place to come and hang out. All these little squares to explore and historical markers to sit, kind of stand and look at them and see it. So this is Johnson Square. So we were just here a moment ago. I think this is the one that shows right to the. Yep. So right here where this gentleman's all set up with his artwork. there. Is where scenes from, there was that one, and I think the one up at Forsyth Park they used as well. But yeah, a lot of that was, or not all of it, but some of it was filmed here. So yeah, Savannah's they're fairly well known for their film. You know, a lot of films are use the Savannah area for various reasons. Partly, I think, is because there's so much historical relevance that's been maintained. So these are like these alleyways I'm talking about. So a lot of delivery stuff, trash, all that stuff is in these alleyways. And sometimes you just find some really interesting stuff here in those alleyways. You know, just little some crannies, and you see something. So here's another marker about the first public building erected in Georgia. John Wesley preached his first sermon on American soil, March 7, 1736. So 200-year birthday on June 28, 1903. And it has what verse he preached his sermon about. And then this is the customs house. This building here to my right, where that marker is. Yeah, this is the old customs house right here. And the courthouse or city hall is right here. Gold Dome. I'm going to go ahead and go across here. About the city hall here. Now, over here, this is what they call the Factor's Walk. There's a lot of stores. This is where a lot of the cotton trade was done. The old, I'll zoom in. See that line sort of there in the middle. If it's in focus, it's hard to tell because I'm wearing my sunglasses. But that's in front of the Freemasons house, which is also the Cotton Exchange. Thomas Gamble building, which is the Bureau of Public Development. That's what that's used for, although it looks like it's just been shuttered up for quite some time. But yeah, there's a lot of restaurants along here, a lot of little touristy kind of shops, you know, the typical Savannah sort of stuff where you get the t-shirts and whatnot. Now the cool thing was, I was telling somebody about this the other day. So when somebody I knew in my old unit there at Fort Stewart, he was getting a lot of tattoo work done before we went to Iraq. So I would come down here with him to Savannah. He'd be in the chair for hours and hours. And so when he was doing that, I would come down and I would just walk around the area and just kind of, that's how I explored the city. Now, there's also these two cannon from Chatham Artillery. So these cannon, which were captured when Lord Cornwallis surrendered at Yorktown in the American Revolution, were a gift to the Chatham Artillery by President Washington, a mark of his appreciation for the part The local military company played in the celebration of his visit to Savannah in 1791. So they've been used to welcome James Monroe, the Marquis de Lafayette, James Polk, Millard Fillmore, Chester Arthur, Jefferson Davis, Grover Cleveland, William McKinley, William Taft, and Franklin Roosevelt. During the Civil War, they were buried beneath the Chatham Artillery Army and were not removed until 1872. When the federal occupation troops had departed, the Washington guns were taken to Yorktown in 1881 by a contingent of the Chatham Artillery and led the parade at the centennial celebration of Cornwallis' surrender. Yeah. Very cool. So there's two of them. For Savannah. So there's the Cotton Exchange right there, which is also the Freemasons Hall. There's that line I was telling you about. That's fountain as well. I think they had to redo a lot of that. It had fallen into disrepair and it's just a big mess. A lot of these buildings sat unused for quite some time. Here's this fountain area here. You got benches. You need to sit here and chill and watch. I tell you, if you're a people watcher, right? Savannah is one of those places you can just find a spot and just sit here all day and watch people go by. It's good for that. But there's stairs that go down to the very bottom here. Now, all these stones, right, that you see here on the street. Everything along here, the stones were all ballast on the ships until they came into port and they had to exchange the ballast for the cotton. And so they just started using the ballast stones to make streets. And so that's one of the big things around here. Now, of course, you have more modern streets. Back then, this was how they built their streets. Sort of interesting little tidbit of information. A lot of the stairs, they're historic. They always say use at your own risk. They're very steep usually. So if you're not sure, there's other ways to get down there, but the stairs are always fun to take, I think. It's just, it's part of history of the area. Let's go this way. We'll walk down and come back towards where I'm going to meet my friend here for lunch. Plenty of places to stay here on the river, but a pretty steep price for it. but you're right by all the spots. Oh, that was here. It was out this way. So you have the Savannah Convention Center across the river, and then a very nice hotel across the way there. Well, which has its own golf course, of course. So kind of like in Paris, a lot of people can buy, they bring locks and everything moves on there with their significant other. So of course the other thing about Savannah, Spanish moss, very just adds that really neat sort of atmosphere to Savannah. I think a lot of the trees have it. I don't think I've seen many trees without it. And of course, if we'd gone to the Bonaventure Cemetery, that just adds to the atmosphere of Bonaventure, I think. I have to come back here again and specifically to do Bonaventure. Yeah, it's a really neat historic sort of, and again, there's plenty of pictures I've taken of Bonaventure. So if you want to get a little taste of what it looks like, you can go check out those photos. But there's the hotel across the way there. A lot of cargo ships come into Savannah now. There was talk, I don't know if they ever did it or not, but they were supposed to be opening up a port for cruise ships to come up into here. There was a big to-do about that here and in Charleston, South Carolina. A lot of people did not want cruise ships to come in, even though it offers, like, your money is just going to go through the roof as far as, tourists are going to get off the boat, off the cruise ship, and want to explore your town. So they just don't want all that foot traffic, I guess, is the problem. So over here, yesterday, or day before yesterday, not yesterday, but day before yesterday, I was telling you guys about the globe. That's the World War II memorial that has names of people who were wounded or killed from Chatham County in World War II in both the European and Pacific Theater, and I think what they called the American Theater. This was fairly new. So I think the world one was done. I was in Afghanistan. When I came home and I came downtown here, I saw that was new. So this is fairly new as well. This Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Food. Whoa. I always smell food here. Always. I know if I was going live, Mel would be like, show me the food, show me the food. So yeah, there's the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Please roll folks who died, who are from Chatham County, who died in Vietnam. And it's all the memorial in the shape of Vietnam. And you have the boots with the rifle pointed down with the helmet on top for a fallen soldier. for the World War II veterans. We're going to walk over here. There's another sort of memorial over here. Well, they must have all the branches of service as their seal. That was the one for the United States Army. Bring around. I'm going to go back across the street and show you this little building over here in a moment. So we have a lot of information about history of Chatham County and military officers. Soldiers who died in Afghanistan. We're talking about yeah. And there's one over here for our black. Oh, this is the Chatham Artillery. So they served in Iraq and Afghanistan. Memorial for them. So yeah, it talks about their history over a 100-year period from 1886 to 1986. At the Camp Landing. I've been to Camp Landing in Florida. Wow. A long time ago. When I was at Stewart, we drove Camp Landing in Florida. That was quite a drive, let me tell you. Ooh, that brings back some memories. I hadn't heard that name in a while. Let's see. Here real quick. So this is one of the places I found when I was walking around. So a lot of the stuff is mixed with this conch shell stuff. You see that a lot of places here too as you get closer to the river. Some of the other sidewalks have a mixture of concrete and conch shell. You see that pretty. But anyway, this building. Now, it says it was a dry cleaner, but it was something more than that. This looks like it used to be like a sauna/men's club. Now, a lot of the writing on the wall that was there is probably faded off now since I was last here. But yeah, this was some sort of a steam men's club kind of thing, whatever. And then next to it, laundry. This has been sitting here unused. It's dry cleaners. Best dry cleaners. Yeah. But you can kind of see in there, and I'm sure some homeless folks have gotten in there. Zoom in enough to get it to be clear enough, but yeah, that was looking. I found this in when I did some different processing on the digital photo. You could see a lot of the writing that was on these frame parts of the window. You can barely see it here. Steam bath, gym. Yeah, lounge. Yeah, one of those weird places. All right, so I'm gonna walk back along here, and then I'm gonna cross the street, get down by the river, and I'll take you guys on the tour along the river there. Maybe we'll see a tugboat or two. So, little known fact, Paula Dean's husband was one of the tugboat captains here in Savannah. I don't think he is anymore. He might have retired. Oh, that's the other thing too. So, I didn't know this, but there was a heavy Scottish presence. Irish and Robert, so a lot of Irish and Scots were here in Savannah. So you see a lot of Celtic crosses. So very. So yeah, I have some Irish heritage. So yeah, St. Patrick's Day is huge here in Savannah. Like, it is a big deal. I think you guys have heard me talk about it before. If you want to party like legit St. Patrick's Day style, come to Savannah. It is a huge deal here. Like, the whole week leading up, that's all they talk about on the news, the evening local news. They interview the Grand Marshal of the parade, talking about how are all the plans coming along and whatnot. Very big deal. Down the stairs here, I'm going to have to be very careful as I go down. I don't want to drop the camera. So you can see it's steep. Definitely. Walls that have been here for generations and generations. It's kind of neat to walk by, to be honest. Oh, now I want to go around the front here. Looks like one of the tugboats parked along the river today, right now. I think if I go down here to the end and hang a left, another left should be on the end. What I should have done, and I'll have to find one. I'll probably order it off of Amazon when I get home. Or maybe do it tonight.
He's like, yes, let's destroy acid worlds. I think he's gonna miss it.
We'll probably leave here at 12. We're going to get here outside
About right here by Joe's Production. There, that's new. Well, it's not big. It's one of those little replica steamboats that you can take up and down the river. They do a lot of river tours here too. And you could take the ferry from here across the way to the hotel on the other side if you want to have lunch there, stuff like that. Walk along River Street. Normally they do have a trolley that runs down the street and back. That's at the Railroad Museum. I think it's there right now for maintenance and stuff while they do some work here on the street. People do bring their yachts kind of into the Savannah area. You can pay a certain fee to park, and it's all docked right there. So if you want to bring your boat in, you can, but you're going to pay. You're definitely going to pay for that. Try not to. So there's the oh yeah, so you got a private dock here. And you get the key or the code or whatever to go down there. So not everybody can go down. Here. This is just about perfect timing. So you have the bridge that goes across from Savannah, South Carolina, there. State line is a little bit past the bridge as you're going towards South Carolina, but you get a lot of freight. There's rail yards over there for intermodal services. I think it's Norfolk Southern that runs from here. So yeah, a lot of freight traffic. More than it seems like there used to be that I can recall. This living here. That means there's a lot more tugboat traffic. You go up down the river, you'll run right into the Atlantic Ocean. So of course tugboats meet the freight ships out where they're supposed to and bring them in. Once we get past all this construction here, I'll get closer to the river again as much as possible. Going down to lunch at one of my favorite places, Dockside Cafe. Coast Guard / river police usually out patrolling. is their boat right here. I could be wrong. No, Savannah Fire. So they have a fire boat here. Rescue stuff if necessary. So that's the West End Hotel right there. That's so yeah, really fancy place. Stayed there once. Really nice. So if you keep referencing my Flickr, there is a racetrack around Hutchinson Island. That's what that area is over there. I've been to a historic race there. That was part of the Speed Classics, which was in conjunction with the car show there in South Carolina. So yeah, really neat area. Now this area here usually wasn't so. They used to, and I'm sure they will again at some point. They had arts and crafts shows throughout here during the summertime, especially. So generally, you would see a lot of booths and all that set up. Local artists selling their jewelry and paintings and photography and whatnot. Savannah is very artsy, for lack of a better term. It is. So they have what they call First Friday, which I missed, which was right when I was getting into town. I don't know how big it is. Hopefully it'll be big again, but it goes from City Market, it goes to all the different galleries and stuff. The place where I took the oil painting class, they would always have demonstrations and stuff, so people would come for that. So yeah, just all kinds of cool sort of stuff. So this is the replica steamboat, Georgia Green. I think every once in a while they'll put the wheel in the water, but it's got its own engines and all that, so it's not powered by steam or by the wheel there, like it was back in the day. Come on here for lunch or dinner, I think. Do a river tour. Savannah experience. This will certainly kind of give you that feeling. Now, one of the things that I remember here, and I'd like to see it again, is the tall ship challenge. They did lose. It was really nice when they had that all here. I mean, the ships all lined up down the river walk here, some over by the West End Hotel. That was a really neat thing to see. So now Marriott has a high-end hotel. They have restaurants, all kinds of stuff. So they, where that JW Marriott is, that's where pretty much. So yeah, there's plenty. You can find a nice place to get this job. Here's the lighter color, of course, is the ocean, and then the darker color is the seals of the different services, and of course back then we had the Army Air Corps. The Air Force did not exist. It's not a separate service. Purchase breaks. Some people serve in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, Gulf War, War on Terror. Some people remember who died in other so some were, of course, all should have been awarded the Purple Heart for their service, being wounded and dying from their wounds. And then they have this seal over here. Both sides, it's a little apart. Just, I always, whenever I see that, I always think about those words. And, you know, I'm not even going to say much more than that because it's. Just leave it at that. I don't want to get on my soapbox this morning. So, anyway, so yeah, my friend should be here in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to, matter of fact, I need to check my phone. She's probably been texting me all this time, wondering where I'm at. So anyway, yeah, that's my brief tour of Savannah. Yeah, it was nice to be there. Definitely. So I'll end the video here. I'll be getting back home tomorrow, get this downloaded, and post it up on YouTube. I don't know how much editing I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to leave it unedited, and you can kind of just view it as you want or whatever. So yeah, anyway, I'm really glad to show you guys around a little bit of the area. Kind of reminisce about some of the places I used to hang out at and whatnot. So anyway, I will catch you all at some point on Train Sim World 2. Thursday, of course, King Creek's coming out. And yeah, I'm kind of itching to get back in the game. It's been a nice little break away from everything. Looking forward to doing a stream. Let's see, tomorrow's Tuesday, so yeah, maybe Wednesday morning I'll get up and we'll do a stream on one of the services. I don't know which line yet, but we'll do something fun, and it'd be good, nice to catch up on with everything again. So, all right, take care, bye.